that.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Game Tangent, the community for super obsessed gaming nerds just like myself. My name is Chris Enriquez, aka Hyper Neon, and today we got a special episode of Game Tangent for you. We are going to be talking about the new Fable game from Microsoft, Nintendo's crazy new cardboard peripherals called the Nintendo Labo, as well as our Monster Hunter World reactions. But before that, I want to bring in a special guest who's here to talk about all these things with me. Ryan, thanks for being here, man. Welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
All right. Do you want to? You're an old friend of mine, but do you want to kind of tell the viewers a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I've been playing video games for pretty much ever. Started off playing Sega Genesis, so that was my first console. Never had Nintendo, just one of those things back then.
Yeah.
I'm one of four boys in my family, so we fought over the Sega Genesis. That was our thing.
Okay.
Um,
Two at a time, I guess.
yeah, no, it was bad. We fought a lot. Worked our way up. We had the whole thing of Game Boys, and then we eventually got a PlayStation one Christmas.
Okay.
And we've been Sony people, PlayStation people forever now. So
Yeah.
I don't actually own any Xboxes. My brother had an Xbox,
Okay.
though, at one point, so I played a little bit of that. But
Yeah.
really been PlayStation. Big into PC gaming now. So those are the things I do have a PS4,
Right.
and so that's what I play now.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you for being here, and welcome to the show. Well, our first topic today is a brand new, well, I guess a potentially brand new Fable game from Microsoft that Eurogamer leaked in an article a few days ago. So basically, they confirmed through various sources that Microsoft has decided to revitalize the Fable franchise and kind of bring it back from the dead. But they're going to be doing it at Playground Studios, which is a developer that's basically only known for the Forza Horizon series. So kind of an interesting choice. This is a game that obviously was found and made at Lionhead Studios, which was shut down less than 2 years ago. So to take a game in a franchise and kill off an entire studio, basically fire or maybe move around all those employees, and then less than 2 years later say, oh yeah, that thing that you guys, those games you guys have been working on forever and ever and ever, yeah, we're gonna bring that back, but we're gonna give it to somebody else. It's just that's really mind-boggling to me, but also a little bit exciting to see what like a new studio could do with the Fable series. So I don't know, Ryan, what do you think about that?
Yeah, so I played the original Fable.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't complete it, but I played the original Fable. So I kind of understand that the people who are fans of it, they're all about the whole encompassing part of the game, the immersion, the music,
Right.
The humor, all that kind of
Right.
stuff.
The quirky British humor.
Yeah, so there's this whole precedent that's already been set for this kind of game, and
Right.
it was a very popular game. It has a very big following. So it's interesting that it's going to be going to a studio who hasn't really done that kind of stuff before. Like obviously they're going to hire people who work in that kind of type of genre of game.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to feel about it because I'm not sure where exactly it's going to go. Is it going to be the same thing, or how much is going to really be new?
Yeah, like I'm really interested in finding out. Is this going to be Fable 4? Right, like they just kind of continue and try and recreate the magic of the original series, or is this going to be just something totally different? A reimagining of the game and of the franchise, a reboot basically, where they do something like Tomb Raider, right, where they just totally remake that entire series. It's basically nothing like those original games, and the style is different, the depth in the story is totally different. I personally, I hope it's that latter one. Like I hope it's a reboot, because I wouldn't want to see another studio try and take on that world, and frankly that world was getting a little bit stale for me. I've played all the Fable games. I'm a huge Fable fan actually, but towards the end of its life, I just felt like Lionhead always kind of let me down a little bit. Like every game was always promised as being like, no, this is going to be the game where every decision you make is truly going to impact the whole world, and it never quite felt like they ever really got there. And kind of towards Fable 3, once they started bringing in, guns and all that kind of stuff, it kind of lost me a little bit. So I would really like to see what a new studio that was like purpose built for revitalizing that franchise could be.
Yeah, I mean that's what Lionhead was known for, those big announcements of all and promises of all these crazy things that were going to happen, and they
Yeah,
never really fulfilled them.
yeah,
And I mean, one of the little interesting parts to me to the whole scenario is like what did Lionhead do at what point to get in bad water with
right,
Microsoft? Like obviously Playground has a good relationship with Microsoft
yeah,
and they do all that kind of stuff. So like what did they do well that Lionhead didn't for them to just be
right,
totally kicked off, since they were the creators of this whole series that did so well and
yeah,
had such a good following.
right.
So
Yeah, I mean, so it definitely stems. I think there's what did Lionhead do poorly? Like I think something happened with Fable Legends. I mean, Fable Legends was this 4v1 asynchronous game where kind of in the where basically the four players that are playing co-op are kind of dungeon crawling, and they're your typical kind of Fable heroes. And then you had this top-down kind of more strategy type game that the fifth player is playing on. I think it was supposed to be like on a tablet, or at least it had a different view. It was a top-down view where you're kind of like the dungeon master. You're the boss. And so you're spawning enemies and setting traps and trying to take down all the heroes, and kind of altering their experience as they play through the dungeon. So it was a cool idea, and that game got so far into its life. I mean, that game was, I mean, I think it was like supposed to come out that year. I think it was a few months from release, and or at least it looked like it was a few months from release based on the things that they were showing and what they were talking about. And then to just all of a sudden say, never mind, we're not releasing this game anymore. Um, and then on top of that, by the way, we're shutting down the studio. Just kind of blows my mind. And a lot of the people actually, the developers, in this Eurogamer article, the developers, they have these interviews where the developers saying, "Hey, we had planned on making Fable 4. Like that was going to be the next game after Fable Legends was going to be Fable 4." So to take that away from them is just I don't know, like something horrible must have happened there, and or maybe it was a financial thing and it just didn't make sense to keep the studio open, and given the perceived failure that Fable Legends was going to be. I don't know. It's definitely a tough one. Uh, and then obviously you had Playground Studios that several months ago, it was leaked that through basically some job postings on their website that they were planning on ramping up on a new game, and they had described it as an action RPG open world game. So I think this is basically something where, hey, they were going to work on this new game anyways, and Microsoft maybe kind of saw their pitch and liked it, and they said, hey, well now we got this Fable franchise sitting around, so why don't we just give you that IP, and you can put the name on it, and it'll automatically sell millions of copies, whether your game sucks or not. Um, so I don't know. It's definitely an interesting situation that I think um, Fable and Microsoft have kind of like found themselves in. But overall, I'm pretty excited about it.
yeah, I'm interested to see what is going to come out of it.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a different game?
Right.
Like how much are they going to try to follow in the same footsteps? Because it kind of sets that whole timeline up of, hey, somebody, Lionhead made this stuff, they were working on a lot of other stuff, and then something happened, they switched it over. How did that affect the game? How does that affect the fan base?
Yeah.
Are they going to be satisfied with what they produce, or are they going to
Yeah.
say, hey, you guys, you took something that we liked, that we really enjoyed, and
Yeah.
you made it completely something else. You slapped the IP on it,
That's
thinking
true.
that everybody would just jump on it, and maybe they don't really deliver in that aspect.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's definitely something pretty interesting to watch.
Right.
So
Yeah. And then I think the only other point on this is that just I guess just to bring up why Microsoft has this sudden interest and why they would be willing to kind of jump back in on this IP less than 2 years after they shut down Lionhead Studios is the Eurogamer article is also cited as saying that at least part of the inspiration behind this new game is the success of Horizon Zero Dawn on PS4, which is a phenomenal game, and I know you haven't played it. Definitely recommend it to you. But giant robot dinosaurs, but huge open world action. I guess kind of RPG elements to it, and a tremendous story, just a really really good story, and no multiplayer aspects at all. And I think Microsoft kind of saw that huge success, those 3-4 million copies that game sold, and they're like, we need to get in on that. Like obviously that market is there. If we could just make the right game that really appeals to people, then we can get those people too. And Microsoft is hurting for for games right now, for exclusive games. So I think this could be a big one, and I don't think it's gonna come out till the end of 2019, probably 2020 at the earliest, because we know
Hmm.
this game is like very very early development, and that like the article says that they basically haven't even started dev on it yet at this point. So I'm thinking another 3 years probably for a big AAA game like that, but I'm excited to
Hmm.
see where it goes.
Yeah, me too. I mean, hopefully it comes to PC too, so I can
Yeah,
play it because I don't have an
yeah.
Xbox.
I
So.
I think for sure. I think it'll be an Xbox slash PC, game. Just like I think pretty much all of Microsoft published games at this point, they're really pushing hard on kind of just the whole Xbox slash Windows ecosystem as kind of one
Yeah.
thing now. So I think there's no, I think it will definitely. There's no questions. Like it will definitely be on PC. So. Um, that's it on Fable, you guys. Let us know what you think. Are you excited about this? Are you pissed off that they took this game away from Lionhead? Are you worried that it won't be anything like the Fable games from the past? Or are you excited that maybe this won't be anything like the Fable games of the past and that it could be a fresh reboot? Give us your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. All right, so today's next topic is the crazy new cardboard cutout peripherals that Nintendo's making called the Nintendo Labo. Labo is what we're saying. I keep getting it wrong. The Nintendo Labo. At least that's how we're assuming that. I think it's Lab O, like Nintendo. If you haven't seen what this is yet, it is basically these these super intricate cardboard patterns that come, as a pack, and you basically you break off the little pieces and you fold them, and they all kind of like tie into each other, and some of them come with pulleys and cables and little like rubber bands and stuff, and essentially they make real life cardboard toys that you then put your Nintendo Switch, your screen into it, you put your controllers into it, and it uses all the crazy accelerometers and the infrared sensors and all that kind of stuff from the controllers in the screen to make cool things, right? So you have one that is a keyboard. It uses the infrared sensor, and when you push the keys, it pops a little thing up, and the infrared sensor hits it, and it knows you're playing which key. Another one was like it uses the HD rumble motors in the Joy Cons themselves, so that it vibrates this little cardboard thing at just the right frequency to be able to make it turn left and right and basically be like a little kind of remote control, like dinosaur type thing, that you control with the kind of the touchscreen of the Switch. And the craziest one is like this super intricate robot it's a robot backpack, I guess. You put this backpack on, it's got these pulleys that go out to your arms and like these strings that go to your feet, and you like wear this headset with the controller in it so you can see where you're looking, and you like stomp around your room and you punch, like the game is that you're like punching buildings and taking down buildings. It's really crazy and over the top, but also like super cool. Um, I don't know that it's marketed towards me, but I feel pretty excited about it nonetheless. So I don't know, Ryan. Like, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, it definitely looks cool.
Yeah,
I feel like I have a mixed review on it though, because it's one of those things where it looks cool. I want to play with it. I
yeah,
think there's a certain section of kids who would play with it, but
yeah,
at the same time, it's something that I'm not so sure if it will really catch on in the Americas. Maybe it's like a big thing in Japan or
yeah.
something, but I'm not so sure how much of a foothold it's going to get them here in America.
So the Labo is the initiative, right? The Labo. I think I said that right. And then each of the packs is called a Toy Con, and so there's two packs. Um, and there's two packs that were currently revealed, right? So the first one is this 5 pack that's being sold for $70. So price is like a huge issue here. So it's $70, and that comes with 5 sets. So it's a little remote control kind of monster thing that I was telling you about. It's like this house you can twist and turn different things. It's the keyboard, it's the little motorcycle handle, and then like a fishing pole. and the other one is $80, and that's just the robot pack. So $70 and $80 respectively for some cardboard. Um, for a toy that's kind of marketed at kids. So I mean, I don't know. You're a dad. I'm a dad. I am very worried about giving my kids $70 cardboard. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, yeah. I have a 4-year-old and an almost 2-year-old, so I don't know how well it would fare. Somebody might be biting and chewing on it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like something that would be cool. I'm sure my 4-year-old's a little bit young for it, but maybe a couple of years later, it would probably fit in that demographic
Right.
of kids who you want to get them into those types of things like STEM stuff, like all this kind of mechanical designy kind of things, and look at the inner workings of
Right.
stuff. So in that aspect, I think it's a really cool thing, and especially for someone my age, I just want to go in there and play with it and see how it works and
Yeah.
all this other kind of stuff.
Right.
And they do talk about things like what can you do with it.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I think about is like what other things can you do to add on to it? Like is this an exclusive set? Like these are the only way that they work. You can't do anything else. And I like what kinds of things are people going to make? Because there's a real big DIY community out there who like this kind of stuff, and
Right.
you really don't know where it's actually going to take off, and
Right.
what kind of capabilities you actually have when you get the product.
Yeah. I definitely think based on kind of their marketing, the expansion possibilities. I don't know that there's going to be, just because of how tied into the software it is. I don't know if there's going to be much room for kind of making your own like unique cardboard pieces, other than maybe kind of like modifying some of them, like the little monster one. I guess you could, like, you could change the way the monster looks, or maybe you color it a little bit differently. But obviously it's so tied to the software. I don't think they're going to be like putting the software in the average consumer's hands to make their own things. But I definitely, I think that this is the start of a new initiative, and if this catches on, I imagine there will be many more packs. I think they'll open this up to maybe developers that want to bundle in a thing of cardboard in with their game. I don't know, to like do something intricate and new with. Um, but I think, uh, I think that this could be really big for kids that are into things like, erector sets and tinker toys, and parents buy these $100 Death Star Lego sets, right? Now, granted, those are plastic, and so they would last forever, but still, it's $100 toy. I could absolutely see a parent who, wants to get their kids into the STEM part of it, or who wants to just kind of get their kids into kind of like building something and understanding how it works. If their kid seems interested in this, the parents are gonna pay the price, right? Like, Christmas comes around, mommy, all I want is a Labo. Like, I just want the Labo robot. Okay, well, son, I mean, you're not gonna say no, right? I think most parents are gonna say no. So
Yeah, I can see it as a Christmas present.
yeah,
It's just the price is so high for something
yeah,
that is just being marketed as, hey, this is cardboard, just
yeah,
pop it out and put it together.
right,
That it's just I would, if it was, if I saw myself back with my 3 other brothers and my parents were going to buy us something, there's no way they were going to buy us an $80 cardboard set,
yeah,
because we would have been tackling each other on it, fighting over the
yeah.
controllers and stuff, and
That
it would have been going
Yeah,
bad.
that's my big concern with this, is like just the durability of it. I mean, it is cardboard today. So Nintendo has, so they have come out and said that they will. So they're not going to replenish the cardboard for you. So that was something that IGN France originally released an article saying that Nintendo had said that they were gonna, um, you know, replace your cardboard indefinitely. So if your cardboard ever got broken, they would just send you, for free, a new set of cardboard, so you could make a new one. Nintendo has since come out and corrected them and said, no, actually, it was just kind of lost in translation. We're not going to send you new cardboard, but all of the designs and all the plans will be available for download online. So that's pretty cool, that if it ever gets damaged, you could just go to, Home Depot, buy some more cardboard, cut out your own piece. Um, but uh, you know, what I'd be really interested in seeing is if maybe eventually they just sell the software piece of it separately. Like, okay, well, there's that software component. You just get the game. Then I just download the plans for free. And maybe I pay $5 for the game in the virtual store. I go buy my own cardboard. I download the plans and I make the little thing myself. And then I don't even need, to buy this $80 pack for the robot. The only thing is that there do seem to be like little plastic grommets and strings and rubber bands and a whole bunch of kind of additional components besides just the cardboard that may need to come with it. Um, So that would I don't know exactly how you would get that, but I do think that maybe eventually this does become a Lego thing where you go into the store, you see a thing on the shelf, it's $5, and it's just one of the little, it's just the remote control car, or it's just um, just the fishing rod or whatever else, so that you're not paying $70 for cardboard. You're paying $5 for a quick new experience that you can play with your kids. I think I could get in at that price point, but I don't know about $70 or $80.
Yeah, I think that's where I see it possibly failing is you're looking for a very specific demographic of a younger audience of kids,
Yeah,
and also a group of people who are willing to support that kind of learning and building and things like that. I can see it being a very big, especially for like maybe a 30-year-old, like the older gamers who want to go and kind of make things and tinker, and
right.
this big DIY community. Like that seems very cool,
Yeah,
and I enjoy that. But at the same time, I'm thinking the average 12-year-old probably has a PlayStation or an Xbox and is playing Call of Duty, yelling at people over
right.
their headset, and
Yeah,
they don't want to get cardboard to play with,
yeah,
So I see it being one of those things where it's awesome. I love the idea of it.
yeah,
I think it's a great cause to try to get kids and people to learn and do this kind of stuff. But I just, as Nintendo's one to go out there on the limb for some of this kind of stuff.
yeah.
I'm not so sure they're going to get a lot of good feedback and in terms of sales
Yeah.
on things like that here.
Yeah, I
So
mean, this definitely harkens back to Nintendo's roots as a toy maker, right? Like a toy company first and foremost. That's what they've always been. That's why they go out and they do all this. When Xbox and PlayStation are kind of going here and they're competing head to head, so Nintendo's just like, bye guys, like we're not even on like the same freaking planet as you with like what we're coming out with, right? Like they don't even try to compete, and like this announcement was so out of nowhere. But like it's so new and so innovative, but it's really like hard to tell what like if this is going to be successful or not. And I it falls in that weird category where it's definitely marketed to kids, but that exact same demographic is in young kids. Like you're right, I don't think it's marketed to 12 and 13-year-olds. I think it's marketed towards 8 9 year olds, playing the Switch. And I I don't think that those are the type of people that are really going to be able to appreciate this and frankly not and take care of it and not break it. So they're in a weird spot. They have this, just to kind of prove that they're marketing towards kids. They actually have these two kind of demo sessions. These like these Nintendo Labo events that they're doing in like New York City, and I think in LA is the other one. That are going to be coming up, where if you can only register if you have a kid, so that proves right there who the intended audience is. And you can go, you can bring your kids, and like kind of before the release, you can get hands on with all these things and try them out and play around. And then I'm sure you're gonna have the kind of the demo stations inside of toy stores and whatever else. We'll be able to play this as it gets closer to launch. So I don't know. Remains to be seen whether this is going to be a success. I personally, as a parent, I wouldn't put my money on it just because I can't imagine ever buying this. Frankly, I think it's gonna be a very niche kind of thing.
yeah, same here. I don't think I would spend the money on it just because it costs. I don't think I could get my wife to let me spend that money on
Yeah,
it for me.
yeah, yeah. I agree. The release date, official release date for this is April 20th, 2018. Those are for Toy Cons 1 and 2 is what they're called, which is the 5 pack for $70 and the Robot Pack for $80. So April 20th, 2018. And then I'm sure at E3 or in some Nintendo Direct thereabouts, there's going to be there if this is doing well, they're going to announce a whole bunch of new Toy Cons with all types of new robots and whatever else. So that's it for the Nintendo Labo. Let us know what you guys think. Do you think this is going to be a roaring success? Do you think this is going to be a Wii U sized failure? Um, Let us know your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. All right, welcome back, everyone. The next and final topic of the day is the Monster Hunter World Beta. The third and final beta is going on right now. We got a chance to play it a couple days ago as a group, and yeah, we got. I guess we kind of just want to go over our reactions and kind of what we thought on that. I just kind of getting it out there. I went into this not expecting this game to be for me. Monster Hunter has been around for a while. I've never really given the franchise a try because it just doesn't seem like something that truly appeals to me. This game was in quite a gray area in that I knew kind of what the game was all about, but the trailers made it look so freaking cool that I wanted to try it in a hope that it would really kind of change my opinion on it, and like maybe this would be a really cool new game where I could just go fight huge dinosaurs and monsters with my friends. But before we kind of get, I guess, into my opinion and what I thought of it, I would, Ryan here, you have actually played previous Monster Hunter games and you really enjoyed them, put like tons and tons of hours into them. So I thought like your opinion would be probably much more valid to the viewers. So do you want to let us know what you thought about the beta?
Yeah, so like you said, I've played the Monster Hunter series before, and
Right.
I know all about like what that kind of game is. So when we opened up the beta and we're playing that the other night, um, I think we all had this kind of mixed reaction to it. We were kind of like, I'm not so sure about this. And I was trying to think like what is it that's causing that? And it's definitely just the way that the beta has been set up. The beta is here's these four monsters to go kill, these four quests. Go
Right.
in there and go do it.
Yeah.
So we hop right into multiplayer because we want to play with each other.
Yeah.
We hop in, um, and there's no real instructions about what you're supposed to do. So
Right.
if you don't know anything about the series, you really don't know all the different things that you can do or should do and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, so from my perspective, having already played the games and knowing that the Monster Hunter game is based on, obviously it's been single player before, on this. Uh, you go out and you look for these things, or you get these quests in your hometown, go out and go on all these quests and go do things. So some
Yeah.
of them are killing monsters, some of them are not.
Yeah.
You kill monsters, bring back their hides, bring back their scales, their horns, all this kind of stuff, and you work on this sort of progression of your armor and weapons and things like that. And there's this whole aspect of the game that I've I think most people who have played Monster Hunter, that's why they love the game.
Yeah.
You don't get any of that in the beta, so I thought there was a big kind of failure in terms of what they were calling a beta or a demo to try to get new players to come and see it. It kind of fell on its face in that aspect.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty interesting to me because it seemed like the definite intent of this was to try and bring new players into the fold, right? The developers have kind of gone on record in like tons of interviews saying that like this is we made this Monster Hunter game because we want it to appeal to new players. Like we recognize that it's very difficult to we don't really hold your hand in this in any of the games previously. You just kind of you jump in, you have to figure out what you need to do and like what resources you need. There's no real tutorials or anything. This game they added some levels of tutorials and that kind of stuff, but they've definitely gone back and forth of like they've referred to this as a demo in like multiple cases, and it's even like in the PlayStation Store, it's like under the demos section, right? Um, and so for me, like if this was an attempt to bring in new players into the Monster Hunter world for the first time, and like they were hoping that someone who's never played Monster Hunter before would kind of go into this demo and be like, wow, yeah, I am really excited for this. I think it failed personally. Like I'm someone who is somewhat interested in the world. I thought maybe it would be cool. But when I played it, I was just like, wow, this is just too much. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. There's no tutorials. There was like, as you're playing, you would get like random little hints that would kind of like pop up to tell you like, oh, do this, use your weapon like that. But they'd be gone so quickly because the action is going on that I wouldn't have a chance to read them. I would be like, how do I reload my weapon? Like, I'm using like this gun. I don't know how to reload it for like half the time that we're playing. Like, it just was, it wasn't new player friendly for sure. Um, and so personally, again, like big caveat here, I kind of went into it knowing that this game like wouldn't really be for me. I didn't enjoy the beta, or the demo or whatever you want to call it. um, uh, but I can see where someone who was really into this game would enjoy it. People who are into games like Dark Souls, who enjoy that more slow, kind of methodical combat, we really have to strategize and choose what you want to do and how to approach your enemy and like pay attention to their movements and like when's the right time to strike, when's the right time to lay a trap, what poison should I use. People who enjoy that type of thing, I think, will really get a kick out of this game. And again, we only played the multiplayer aspect. I know you said you played the single player and it was a different experience, right?
Yeah, so in the single player, it kind of it stepped you through a little bit more. Like you actually talked to the NPC when you first got to camp, and she kind of showed you, okay, open the map like
Yeah,
this, and so here we're in the base camp, and I think the monster's over here. So follow the footprints and kind of follow through this track and things like that.
yeah,
And I mean, I could definitely relate to what they're talking about in terms of there was no instructions in the previous games,
yeah.
but really all they really added were like you can see in the top corner what your combos are,
Okay.
and like when you look at things it kind of tells you when you pick up, like there wasn't anything like that in the old games, but they didn't do a good job in the beta in the single player of like really giving you that kind of hold your hand, let me show you how to do things kind of, they,
Yeah,
and especially in the multiplayer they just gave you everything and we're like, hey, just go ahead and do stuff.
yeah,
So I'm kind of disappointed in the fact that if that was their goal to get more people who are unfamiliar with the series to play the game and like it and understand what's going on, it definitely didn't do a good job in showing what the true nature of the game is.
yeah.
It may not be your cup of tea. It may not be, because it is largely based on like weapon and armor upgrading. You don't upgrade your character. You don't get skill points and
Right,
get new abilities and things like that. You go kill stuff to make new weapons and new armor, and
right.
that's kind of your whole progression thing.
Yeah,
So, I mean, if you don't like that, then
yeah.
that's
I
not going to be the game for you. But it didn't give you that in the
yeah,
beta.
yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. But I think overall, your impressions are pretty positive on it, right? Which I think your opinion is much more valid than mine. So I would urge our viewers to listen to his opinion, not mine.
Yeah, after playing it, and as
Yeah,
soon as I booted it up, it looks exactly, no, it looks much better than the previous ones, but it
right.
plays the same way as those old games did. The same kind of weapons, same kind of style. The items are the same. There weren't many even new items at all. It was kind of like I'm familiar with all of this stuff, and now it looks great. And you're
Yeah,
giving me more monsters and more areas to explore. And it was just kind of like I'm excited to go play that part of the game that I know
right.
is out there. So
Yeah. So overall for you, it's a positive experience. Like you think might pick this one up when it comes out.
yeah, I'm excited, especially since you can play with other people. If I don't have friends like I don't, I can go find some other people to play with.
Yeah, there was like matchmaking and all that kind of stuff in there too,
Yep.
which is pretty nice. Yeah, so let's see. So the final beta is going on right now, Thursday, January 18th at 9 p.m. Eastern until Sunday, January 21st at 10:59 p.m. Eastern. So unless you catch this video exactly when it goes up, you are probably gonna miss this. You'll have like, if I upload it tomorrow, you'll have like 12 hours left to try and hop into the beta. It's PS4 only. The beta is PS4 only, but the game will be coming out on Xbox One and PS4 January 26th of 2018. So like next weekend, basically. There's only like a week
Yeah.
left, 6 days from now. So that's pretty cool. All right, well, that's it for the Monster Hunter World Beta discussion. Let us know what you thought. Did you play the Monster Hunter Beta? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Are you going to be getting the game on release? Give us your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. All right, everyone. Those are all the topics that we have for you today. Thank you so much to my guest Ryan for being with me today.
It was great.
All right.
Liked it.
Cool. Yeah, had a great time. If you are interested in if you're interested in the content and you enjoyed the show, then please consider hitting that subscribe button so you can find out when we're going to be doing new things. If you want to talk about the latest leaks, news, and rumors, then check out the Facebook and the Twitter pages using the handle @GameTangent. And if you want to see us do some live stuff, check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/GameTangent. It's where we stream the Monster Hunter beta. We play all different types of games. Destiny, Overwatch, indie games, whatever. We like to play it all. We stream Tuesdays and Thursday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And that's it for us today. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Game Tangent. My name is Chris Enriquez, aka Hyper Neon, and we'll see you next time. Peace!